Let's talk about like the unpaid jobs that you did.
Come on. I did a lot though. One of the things that really fueled more passion is actually the network of our classmates. I think to me, imposter syndrome might be something positive. I believe that the difference between a junior engineer, a mid-level engineer, and a senior engineer is not just the technical knowledge, but also the mindsets. Sometimes ask dumb questions. Honestly, sometimes just do, so that you will not assume and then later realize that made a mistake there. It's very worse. Ask dumb questions.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Codes with Hybeecodes. And let me calm down first. So on today's episode we have, as usual, we have a special guest. All our guests are special right? So we love and honor all our guests. So today I have
For the honor.
we are people of honor. Abi Daniel.
Thank you for the honor.
Yes, we are people of honor. So today I have a friend of mine and a brother. Okay, I'm going to give him the opportunity to introduce himself, but let me just give a brief from my own perspective. I've known Ayodele now for about 10 years now. How much? It's been a while.
Was it 10 years? I think
You 10
2016.
Okay, like 9 years.
Nice.
9 years. So
We
we've known each other.
We stay beside each other. It's already level.
Actually, yes.
Coincidentally.
Yeah. So I've known him for 9 years, and he's also a developer, a software engineer, a senior backend engineer, right? And he's a solid guy. He's a very, very solid guy. One of the people I really respect. So yes, Ayodele, let's have you introduce yourself.
All right. Is it good evening that we are in now?
Just say hello, everybody.
Yeah. So, all right. Hello, everybody. My name is Ayodele, and I'm a senior backend engineer. I've been in this tech space for don't taste.
Exactly. I know. Say don't take.
I think I actually wrote my first code in 2014.
2014.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was before you. So I actually went to Polybad though.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I should give that background story.
Yeah, just leave it. We'll get to
I
that.
wrote my first code in 2014,
Mm.
and this is 2025. That's
2025.
Yes.
11 years.
So I majorly focus on backend. I sometimes do front end, but not really that deep like that. So I've worked in a couple of sectors. I've worked in healthcare before. That was actually Reliance Health, which is a label.
Reliance HMO.
Yeah. So then I've worked in consulting firms before. I've actually consulted for a few firms before too as well. And I started my fintech journey, let me use that word, in 2023. So I worked in AfriChange. I worked on the crypto exchange products, where I actually led the backend for that team. And currently I'm working in Cora as a senior backend engineer too as well. And I'm in paying squad. So
You are married. Let them know.
Yeah.
He's married though.
Happily married.
Exactly. He's happily married.
To my lovely
So
wife.
yes. Yeah. Funny.
Of course, there are actually people that are unhappily married, but they say they're happily married.
Exactly. You don't come out and say they are unhappily married.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah. That's cool. Thank you for.
And yes.
Okay.
I have to actually say that I'm a child of God.
Obviously.
I love Jesus.
Yes.
I love Jesus.
Hey,
Yeah.
God.
I love him because he loves me. He loves me.
He loves you first.
Yeah, he loves me even more than I love him. So I'm a child of God, and I am very vocal about my
Vocal
faith
about that.
as well. I'm not ashamed to proclaim that I'm Jesus' boy.
Okay.
So that's it.
Thank you for putting that one. Of course, it goes without saying. This is not just any podcast. This is a podcast whose sole purpose is to eventually advance the kingdom, right? This is a podcast. All our guests are believers, very strong believers, and one of the things that we also ensure is that, in as much as we talk about like the the career, talk about the relationship part, talk about finance, we also talk about the relationship with God part and how that also plays a role, the role it plays in the other aspects of our life. So yes, that's like one of the major purposes.
I actually love what you're
Yes.
saying. It's something that is not really. I think it takes a level of guts and courage to do what you are doing, particularly because of the sector that we are in.
That we are, I know.
Because the number of tech bros and Cs are, I don't know what to say about that. But it gets,
we know how it is.
so that's it. So well done with that.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for the encouragement, and thank you for contributing. I mean, agreeing to even be here, so it's part of it.
It's actually an honor to be here. It's
This
an
is-
honor and a privilege actually. When you actually reach out to me that you want to interview me, I was like, wow, thank you.
So yeah, thank you
Thank
for
you.
being here. Okay, so generally, let me give a brief of what I want us to discuss today. I just want us to
Okay.
I want to put your story out there, right? One of the things you know about CTC, and one of the things that I am passionate about is
Okay.
I want to ensure that people that are still coming up in the tech space, people that are looking to get into the tech space, they have enough godly examples,
Yeah.
right? They have pictures of possibilities, because that's one of the things I see that it's not so pronounced, especially in the tech space.
Yeah.
As around the time that I don't want to say that we started, because now let's say you don't start before me now. So let me quickly, but around that same
I
time,
already told you that agency.
but around that same time, the people that were very much pronounced in the tech space are they were not the best of examples, right, in terms of values, right? They are very good, like
Yeah,
in the
I
tech
guess.
space, in what they do, at least at what they did then, and because of that, these are the people that we saw then, and a lot of people actually derailed because those were the pictures of possibilities they saw.
So yeah.
Yeah, so that is why my own goal, my own passion is that continuously like bring out godly examples. It's not that you can't make this thing work like without dropping the god factor, right? It's totally possible,
Sure.
right? And that is why we are doing
Sure.
this. So
Very possible.
let's start with your where do I start? Okay, I'll do something that I've not done before, even with all the most of the interviews that we've done. Let's start from where you're from, the origin, right? You were born in
Okay.
which state?
Or your states or your town.
Okay, wait. So you were born in your state, but are you? So no, state of origin is different from where you are born.
You asked that. I was born with
Yeah. So
Yeah.
where is your state of origin?
Your states.
So you still your state. So you're born in
Yeah.
your town.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
Your state of origin is Oyo States.
that's interesting. So
Yeah.
how did you get it? How did you get to Ibadan?
Okay, so my primary and secondary school was in Oyo town.
Wow.
So 2011, that was when I finished secondary school. Unfortunately, I passed JAM very well, but I failed.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I passed JAM very well, but I failed OA post JAM.
Oh,
So that was why I said unfortunately. So
Mm.
the same thing happened the second year. That was 2012.
mm,
So that was when I took the Polytechnic Ibadan form. So I
okay.
did my OND there the first year and the second year. Then I did direct entry.
into UI
So it was tertiary education that actually brought me
brought you to Ibadan.
to Ibadan.
Wow. Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I've always had that. I mean, I think I've read somewhere that I read this from somebody, one of our friends, that you came from
Yeah.
Oyo. So in my head, I was like, okay, how did this guy end up here? I think a lot of people that came from Oyo are in Ibadan. Or you don't think so?
Maybe because not to speak bad of your town. It's a local town actually.
You look out.
Yeah, so probably that might actually be the reason for most people. Well, many people actually left Oyo to maybe Ibadan then to Lagos.
To
Because
Lagos.
I was I was initially in Lagos.
Lagos.
I think we both spent like 2 years or
Yes,
so.
in Lagos. Then you came back.
So we now came back to Ibadan. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Daniel, what is it?
Something like that.
You know the way now, like it's for greener pastures.
Yeah.
Okay, let's not talk about Ibadan and Lagos today. Okay, so you got into you studied computer science in the Polytechnic.
Computer engineering.
So I hear that a lot of people study computer engineering in Polytechnic. Isn't that there was no computer science?
There was actually.
Huh.
For Polyban, there was.
There was.
Both computer
Okay.
engineering and computer science.
Okay.
There
That makes
was,
sense. That makes sense. So why computer at all?
Okay. Quite funny enough, I've wanted to become a medical doctor.
Okay, very interesting.
So I think it was when I got to SS2 that I realized that even though I was actually a very brilliant student, I graduated as the best writing student in my secondary school, but I did not really like biology.
Okay.
And I knew that if I really want to if I really want to study medicine, definitely I have to like biology.
Yeah, you need
And
biology.
I even had to write it in JAM.
Yeah.
So that was when I started thinking that definitely I can't study medicine. I can't. And the reason why I don't like biology is because I'm more of a practical person. I know biology, you have to read, draw, and all those things.
Your
So
female
my
and
best
mosquito.
subject, even in secondary school, was quite funny enough. It was maths and physics.
Mathematics and physics.
Like maths and physics, and because calculations and all those things. So, but even before I got to SS2, I've been always curious about computers. I did not grow up actually having computer in my family, but one of my cousins actually had it. So a number of times I, go to their side to let me just see how to boot computer. Like just to
open it.
You get just no, it was actually a desktop.
Okay, just
like pressing the power button.
Yeah.
This Microsoft.
Yes, where there is like the desktop, then there's the CPU, and then there's the keyboard and all
things. Yeah. So and then from that, I graduated into going to cyber cafes. Those days that you buy 1 hour.
Yeah.
I go to cyber cafes and it wasn't like I was doing anything tangible or serious with it. I mean, just go there to check my Yahoo Mail. Then that was when I was using Yahoo Mail before I had to stop using Yahoo Mail. Then
so did you at any point in time go there to check your Facebook?
Yeah, I did a lot. Actually. Those were actually things
you go there to
actually go there to do then. So that was what developed my curiosity for computers. And I think in my, that was after my SS3 that I did computer training. That was after I finished secondary school. So those things were what really developed my curiosity about, computers. And, I think anytime I'm watching Champions League, I was watching Champions League then, you know all these adverts.
So you don't watch Champions League anymore?
I still do actually. I still do. But then I think I started watching football. That was maybe 2010, thereabout. That was when I was in SS2. So one of the things that actually got me curious with, or let me say two things that actually got me curious with computer. First of all, how do website actually works? Like you go to a website, you fill a form, you click the registration button, you get the mail. I was actually curious of that. So coincidentally, when I finished SS3 and I could not get admission, so there was this guy in my streets, even though we actually still talk to now. So I don't know if you might actually know it. It's that thing is actually very cool. There's this thing called Wapka.
I know Waptrick.
Yeah,
those websites.
Yeah. So actually, there's actually Waptrick. Waptrick is for the games.
For games,
Wapka, you can use Wapka to develop websites,
other
static websites most times. So I think there was this day I went to his side and I saw him doing that. I saw that anytime he wrote some code snippets, there's on phone actually.
Yeah,
he could actually run it, and those were the things that actually fueled my curiosity. So I approached him. I told him to actually, put me through. And the guy is a very, very good guy. We still talk today. So he actually taught me those things. And, quite funny enough, I developed those Wapka websites for people then. Maybe like 1K, 2K for people. And that was what I used to, the money that I got there, I saved it up. And my parent actually added money to it to get my first phone.
C1, C2,
yeah, all those
C3.
kind of phones, yeah.
Okay.
So I think I got it for maybe like 16K then. I was able to gather like 8K. So they added the rest, and so that was how everything started. I got my first laptop actually. That was after my secondary school. So I got my first laptop, and that was what really started my tech journey. But what really solidified it was my ND2.
Okay.
That was our final year project. So then we the final year project, I don't know the way it is now, but then it's actually a group work. So I think we're like four that we used to be in some groups were actually two, some were three, but my group was actually four. So the topic that was given to us was to develop an e-voting system.
E-voting. Okay.
Yeah. And so none of us actually knew how to develop it then. So I remember one of my secondary school senior was actually UI. He was even studying computer science then. So I reached out to him that okay, this is what we were given, and I don't know if you know, like I asked him if he knew anyone that was actually into web, because I think he was into maybe Java, so to say then. I can't really remember very well. So he connected me with someone which was very, very instrumental to my career.
Your career.
Because if the guy had not even gone beyond the project for me, maybe maybe I would have been doing now that thing in tech, but not software engineering. So the guy's name, John Ojetunde, like, thank you so much. Yes, this. Thank you so much. So it was the one that actually helped us with our projects. It was actually not free. We paid him, but I actually developed a relationship with him even after the project. So anytime I was actually working on something and I was actually stuck, I'll reach out to him, he'll respond. Sometimes there are times that he even tell me to actually zip the code. Then GitHub was not really that a thing. I think that was around 2014. That was late 2013, early 2014. Yeah. So I'll zip the code, I'll send it to him in his mail. Then it will help me to fix whatever bug I was actually experiencing and send it back
and send it back.
Yeah, it was stressful, but it really helped me. Yeah, it really helped me. So, and that was what helped me, because one thing I realized with a number of maybe software engineers is that, I mean, at the early stage, when they hit that block and there is nobody to help them, they tend to give up. So probably that would have been my case too as well if the guy was not there for me. And even up until post NYC, we still do talk, but not that we lost contact, but the discussion was not as intense as then now again. So, but regardless of whether we still communicate or not, he's still someone that I really hold in high regard, and I'm thankful for my software engineering journey. So
Wow.
I think that was it.
Wow, that's very nice. I mean, I like stories like this because, like, for I mean, from what you said, like it highlights like the whole importance of like a network, right? Because I mean, that was the power of network playing out in your
Yeah.
in how you got started. And I think even for a number of people that I know too, in fact, some of them, it's not as if they even had it in their plan that they will get where they are right now, but somehow they got to meet somebody, and then
I think that's just it. Relationship is something that you can't you should not actually undermine. Not just in tech, but in anything that you do. In anything you do, relationship is very key. It's very key. Very key.
So let's talk about, like, okay, I was going to ask about why backend engineering, right? So let's before we get to that, let's talk about like the experience in school, right? Okay. Was there anything in during your experience in school or during your journey in school that kind of contributed to maybe your zeal or your passion for the tech space?
Well, I think I've had that passion before I entered
school.
UI, to be precise. I was actually staying in school then in Polybadan, but not UI. What really contributed to well, the way our educational system is in Nigeria, that he writes codes on paper. Very, very annoying thing. But one of the things that really fueled more passion is actually the network of our classmates.
That's me. So,
You know, you see somebody writing maybe PHP, maybe Node, maybe JavaScript then, and you're just curious as to how this thing actually works. You see somebody maybe writing Java and all those things. And you know, the way we used to share resources then, all these YouTube playlist video
yeah.
that those days that we
You know,
actually
you never bring flash drive and
exactly,
collect.
exactly. I read from flash drive, you connect and all those things. So those things actually really helped because and one of the things I was able to pick from that is that you cannot grow in isolation.
Yes.
To be honest, you cannot. You need people to first of all encourage you. You need people to actually put you even on your toes.
Yeah.
So that you will not be a local champion. So that you know that I'm not really doing enough as I'm supposed to do. So those were the things that actually helped. So it wasn't when I got to UI that I developed the passion. I developed it while I was in poly. Quite funny enough, when I met the guy, that was when we finished ND1. So we're about starting ND2. So thank God I had a very good CGPA in the first year. Maybe maybe my CGPA in the second year in poly I've actually dropped because I was just curious about this thing. You know, when you're doing something and it's working, you want to learn more, you want to do more, you want to. It's even got to me working. I think I actually helped like two of my classmates for their project. I mean, then in ND2, just PHP and the days of Bootstrap, jQuery, all those things.
I can't believe the Bootstrap is now a thing of the past.
Actually, actually, that's actually the way tech is actually. Things that seems to be, in vogue now. Few years time to become obsolete.
Wow, wow.
So that was it.
Wow, I'm actually like. I'm shocked. Not that I'm shocked that I know that
Bootstrap was actually the go-to
like
thing.
That was it. Like
yeah, we don't really write CSS from the scratch like that.
Wow.
Do all this BTN, I mean sources for
wow.
All those things. Oh
wow. And then all of a sudden Tailwind. I think that Tailwind just came
actually. Yeah, Tailwind, yeah.
Wow.
Tailwind is actually very good. I've actually used it before and it's very sweet.
It's good. Wow.
Very sweet, yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's so let's get back to that back end question. Right.
Okay.
Why back end?
I've done front end before. Or let me say full stack.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think I even started with full stack.
Full stack,
then, then when I started there was really you might not really be able to do back end alone and front end alone. You actually do them together.
Yes.
Most people that actually started there, they tend to actually do them together. But it was 2020. That was during our NYC. That was when I had this in mind. I think I actually got some, better information that I can specialize in either front end or back end. And if I feel I want to do full stack, I can actually. But one thing that I don't like front end for is CSS stresses me. It stresses me. Having to, actually very fun, having to center a div. Sometimes
I know.
So, and front end to me, not to actually talk down on front end. When you are just focused on front end, you don't really know the core of the products. You don't know maybe the architecture, the database, and all those things. So I think those are the things that actually fueled my curiosity as to specializing on. I think I still did full stack till 2022.
So okay.
Yes. But from
that's 3 years ago now.
But from 2022 now, it's just so if you actually give me a React code, I might not really be able to contribute that much. But then I still wrote React then actually. So backend to me, like I mentioned, it gives you actually know what is really happening in the core of the product, the database, the data, the architecture. Unlike front end, I don't want to say just user interface because to be honest, I respect front end guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I say CSS actually stresses me. It doesn't stress them.
So,
that's actually their strength. So that was one of the things that actually made me to focus on back end actually. Not the money, because in many companies, or let me say some companies, the pay is almost similar.
Yeah, it's almost similar.
In some companies actually.
Depending on your proficiency itself, like front end guys are a lot more than
exactly, and you might even be doing more of the work.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Actually, there are times I felt like I should even focus on front end. Maybe because of the stress that comes with back end. Things going wrong or production, most of the time it's back end. Once
True.
service is down, most of the
I
time
say
it's back
it's
end.
not. It's usually not front end.
Maybe double debit, double credit.
It's
Most
back
of the
end.
time it's back end. So sometimes I'm like, I don't even get here.
Guy.
Should have just done front end.
I
But
mean, but it's the life. It's the life you've chosen,
actually,
right? And I think it's. I was telling someone recently, like, oh, the person was saying that because the person was talking about, was asking me, oh, how is work, and I was like, work is very stressful. I am tired, and the person was like, hey, why are you still doing that? I say, even though the thing is stressful, I love the stress.
that's
I'm
it.
enjoying.
That's it actually.
I'm
That's
enjoying
it.
the stress.
That's it actually.
And if you were to be similar to, like, if I were to be doing front end, for instance, and front end is giving me the kind of stress that I'm experiencing right now,
You
not
love.
doing again, no.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
not.
that's actually the way that's where the passion and the love actually comes in.
Mm,
You know, when you have love and passion for something, even if you don't have love and passion for it, you still experience challenge. Either
exactly.
ways. But
Exactly.
when you have love and passion for something, it's that love and passion most times that keeps you
It
going.
keep you
That
going.
I
Yeah.
love this thing, I overcome this
Mm,
audio and yeah.
yeah. Very nice. Very nice. When did you get your first job? At the first actual, okay, actual job.
Okay.
Oh no, okay,
What's your
before I get to
definition
first,
of a try job?
okay, let's talk about like the unpaid jobs that you did.
Come on. I did a lot though.
Yeah.
Some that even said they will pay me with experience or discovery.
Wow.
But it wasn't really scam. I got the experience in
Got the
some.
experience.
Some, to be honest, I didn't get the experience. But just so when I got the first unpaid job,
Hmm.
ah, can I really remember? I've done.
It's a
I've done
budget. It's too
it.
much.
I'm just trying to remember now
Hmm.
because I said I actually started in 2014.
Yeah.
So my first paid job actually came there,
Hmm.
which was actually for one of my classmates'
Hmm.
projects.
Hmm.
I think I collected like 20K then. And then it was big money to me being a student.
Hmm.
But I've done many. Okay, yes, I remember one in 2016. So
Okay.
it's for a cooperative society there.
Okay.
Yeah, and bro, I did the full stack, front end, back end, used Bootstrap, jQuery. Told me that I've even completed the application, but maybe they'll pay me tomorrow.
But they promised to pay you.
They promised to pay, but I think what happened was the bureaucracy around it. Some people
Around the payment.
no, they are not around the payment, around the application. So
Okay.
the founder of the cooperative society reached out to me that they wanted to digitize their operations. So he just gave me an overview of what they wanted,
Okay.
and I ran with that.
Hmm.
And I built it and I demoed it to him. Like I even went to his office.
His office,
I
yeah.
demoed it to him. He loved it. Told me to change some things. I changed everything.
Hmm.
Oga, where's my money?
Wait, did you deploy for them?
I did it.
Okay.
I did it actually. But when you spend time on something,
Yeah,
and,
yeah, yeah.
if I were doing it freely for them, I wouldn't mind.
Hmm.
But when you spend time, especially when you've had in mind that okay, when this money comes,
When my expectation, you've already made plans.
I use it for this, I read those things, and the money actually that was actually 2016. But yeah, it was. I think probably I would say that most of my disappointments in this tech journey, later on, I realized that it was actually one of the things that actually shaped my growth.
Hmm.
So, then I did not really know how some things were to be done. I mean, about the product feature, but
Yeah.
I had to just sit down there and then. There was nothing like ChatGPT. The highest that I had was Stack Overflow.
Stack Overflow,
We
yeah.
actually
Yeah.
ran into issues. So I had to, read a lot. Even I had to even learn something before I even implement it and all those things. Though it was like a disappointment in terms of payments, but I mean, it was one of the things that actually hurt my growth too as well. So I think that was like 2016. Yeah, that was 2016.
2016. Wow. Wow. And I can imagine like you have like a lot of those. You had a lot of those
A lot of
experiences.
them. A lot.
Wow.
A lot.
So what about like the paid job? So when did you get like your first
Okay,
paid
so
job?
I did when I finished from Polybadon, then in late 2014,
Hmm.
I did my IT. I did my IT in two places. I left one.
Okay.
I was tired. I don't want to mention two.
Yeah. No.
So I left that place and then the person I mentioned earlier, John Ojetunde, that I said was the one that helped us with our final
Your project then,
So
yeah.
he was the one that recommended me for the new company, right? The second company I worked with because he actually worked there when it was in the UI.
Oh, okay.
So I did my IT then, and it wasn't exactly a paid job. It was maybe because I was just designing websites then.
Mm.
So it's actually dependent on if there is work to do. So when there was work to do, I get paid. I mean, maybe like 5K, 10K. So
Mm.
I can't collect that money again in my
Eh,
life. God forbid.
You
Yeah.
don't pass
So,
that
but
level.
I mean, those things actually helped.
Mm.
It was there I learned, jQuery, Ajax. I think I've learned Bootstrap before I got there, but it was then I had many projects to work on that,
That you
made me
made
to
made you
actually
use
use
Bootstrap.
Bootstrap
Mm.
quite a lot.
Mm.
Even then, those days, there was nothing like Laravel I think Laravel had been out then, but it wasn't really as popular as it was then. So you have to write everything from the scratch. I mean,
Mm.
you have to write a database connection, MySQLi,
Mm.
everything. Yeah, it was.
I can imagine.
So
That was vanilla PHP.
yeah, vanilla PHP, just PHP. Yeah. So
Okay.
all those things, yeah,
All these Gen Z people, they won't understand. They can't understand.
they cannot actually.
They met
Yeah.
Laravel.
So so
Wow.
that was it then. Yeah.
Mm. So,
That
but
was
after that experience, like
so after that, that was when I got admitted to UI.
to UI, okay.
So I was there really. I did some unpaid jobs in UI too as well.
Mm.
Oh, I don't suffer in this.
I mean, I think you had a lot of patience.
Yeah, it's actually passion.
Hmm.
But I think I realized late that even if you have passion for something, ensure you are getting paid for
Paid
it.
for it.
So that you not just be doing passion only without getting paid. So
Hmm.
I think it was that passion of let me try. Especially okay, one of the things I did then is that you actually get maybe even whether it's unpaid or paid.
Yeah.
So if it's something that I've done many times before, I may actually turn it down. Because I was
Hmm.
just looking for something that would challenge me to learn
To
something
learn
new.
better, yeah, to be
You
better.
get, yeah. But definitely whoever referred or whoever
Hmm.
is whoever was the client, I will definitely not tell him that, oh guy, I don't know this thing, I have to learn, Most clients will not actually understand that. So those are the things that actually help them. But many unpaid jobs here and there. I'll develop an e-commerce website for 10K before. Like I think that was in 200 level, 300 level.
Hmm.
I think yes, that was the guy did not pay me 10K. He even paid me 5K.
But then you guys agreed on 10K.
They agreed on 10K. So sometimes it might be totally unpaid, sometimes it might be half paid,
I've paid.
some or maybe few times was
Hmm.
fully paid. Yeah.
So I mean, I like this aspect of like this story because I mean that part where I said that you had a lot of patience. I always like
Yeah.
to emphasize it because some of the guys that we are having now, I mean, maybe because of pressure from different angles,
Yeah.
people don't really have that patience to just
Yeah.
calm down and learn what you need to learn, prioritize growth for a good amount of time. I mean,
Yeah.
probably throughout your career, but in those early days, prioritize growth, learn from the right people before you start jumping around.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I cannot lie. Like if I had to go through your own process, right?
Yeah.
If thinking of the things that you had been able to even do before you got into UI, right?
Yeah.
And I've been calling myself like mid-level engineer. How I need you get which
The issue with those
mm,
things were they were just doing it for it is working,
mm,
not like somebody not yeah, I had mentorship then, but it wasn't really that structured like a company kind of mentorship that a senior backend engineer is reviewing your code, a
mm,
senior software engineer is reviewing your code and
yeah,
all those things. So it was majorly about at least it's working.
yeah,
It wasn't really built for scalability then.
yeah,
You
yeah.
get, yeah. So
So
that
that's
was
if
it.
you mentioned one of the things I was going to ask about not necessarily mentorship, but if you can also touch on that would be nice. But majorly around okay. So I mean we've talked about the foundation now, and now you're like a senior engineer. How did you? Were there things you did, or were there things that kept you in that constant growth state? right? Where like you don't feel like, oh, I've now arrived. Like I'm at this point where, oh, now let me start charging, or I don't really need to. Was there anything that like was continually like kept you humbled, like in your career, that made you look? I mean, like you had something to look forward to. Yeah.
Okay. Quite funny enough, I think that's imposter syndrome.
No, so not necessarily imposter syndrome,
I'm going to
right?
solve it actually.
Okay, I'm
You know, when you feel like
Hmm.
you know that you've actually tried, you know you
Yeah.
are doing well.
Hmm.
I mean, at the level, but you still feel like
It's not
I
enough.
still don't know anything.
Hmm.
And I feel one of those things that fuels it. I think to me, imposter syndrome might be something positive,
Positive.
depending on the way or the perspective is actually
Look at it from.
So when you see some of your guys, I mean, somebody like you challenge me. When you see some of your guys doing something big,
Hmm.
and you know that you've not really done compared to the person.
Hmm.
Not like you are trying to compete with the person,
But at least
you are competing with yourself.
yeah.
You are using the person as
Yeah.
maybe like a picture, so to
Yes.
say. So it actually makes you to learn more.
Then more.
And I think another thing that helped me was I am someone that embrace challenges. So okay, when I was at Reliance Health, I was transferred to another team then where I built the appraiser system for the company. And prior to that time, I've not done anything like that before. So, but the reason why I was transferred was my previous manager was the one that even recommended me to even work with the new manager based on the things I've actually done
You've done,
in the previous team. Yeah. So that thing actually really challenged me. Like I made many mistakes actually, but the manager was very patient with me too as well. But majorly I embraced new challenge that I can't be doing routine task every now.
Yes, thank you.
And I actually hate routine tasks. I can't work anywhere that I'm doing the same thing
over and over
again for a period of time. So that was one of the things that also helped me too as well. So I embraced the challenge. I built it. There were bugs. I ensured that I think I started taking ownership earlier in my career too as well. Even though I was a junior backend engineer then, I was 2021 or so. Yeah, 2021. Yeah. So I would actually be accountable that this thing is not working. I have to fix it. People are complaining. I have to ensure that I fix it. And those were the things that actually helped me to know that I have not actually arrived, because this is actually a journey. It's not a destination. So those were the things that even till now I'm still learning. Like
Definitely.
I have many courses that sometimes when I check my day, I'm like, guy, you're not.
There's a lot there that you because you buy and you don't have time to take.
I feel like you are not yet serious with your life. You get so and you know when you also realize that people you are looking up to, they are not resting.
But
so why should I rest?
Everybody's moving.
Why should I rest? Like wow. You are looking up to are not resting. They are learning new things. They are picking up new things. So definitely, those are the things that will definitely provide a source of encouragement and motivation to actually learn more.
So I mean, I just want to touch on that. The ability to embrace challenges. But I think it's very important. I've seen a couple of people, and if I know a couple, a lot of people are scared of looking dumb. Yes,
true.
Because like your typical the example you gave, or I mean, in your story, you went ahead to another team. You could have stayed in your team when you were the star boy, and you were just enjoying your life, right? But because of your love for just wanting to grow, right, you picked up more challenges. And this is just to tell somebody there, because I've seen this happen like too many times. Like someone just comforting, like you just did all right, and you sat down there and you're enjoying.
I think I think that thing is meant for the generation of our parents. Not
honestly
meant for the generation of our parents.
And I mean, talking about, like we talked about how bootstrap was the thing then, and now it's not more the thing. It's important that we are constantly growing, because if you are not growing, it's very bootstrap when that you go.
That's just it actually. That's it.
So one question I want to ask, and people have asked me this question before too, is at what point? So maybe two questions. It could be the same answer, but at what point did you know that you're a mid-level engineer? Right? Was there something that happened that made you realize, like, okay, it seems at this point now I'm mid-level? That's number one. The second one, just like this, like at what point did you realize that, or did you discover that, okay, I think I'm a senior engineer material?
Okay, that's a very deep question.
Yeah.
I believe that the difference between a junior engineer, a mid-level engineer, and a senior engineer is not just the technical
Technical,
knowledge,
yeah.
but also the mindset.
Hmm.
The mindset majorly is actually the difference. There's a way a junior engineer think, there's a way a mid-level engineer think, and there's a way a senior engineer think. So when I was a junior engineer, um, sometimes I don't care if anything happened. Then I
Yeah.
did not care if anything happened in production. But like,
Just get your
how much are you paying me? You know
Don't
that
pay me
kind
enough
of
to
thing.
care.
That kind of mindset is meant for a level, which is actually junior. But before I left Reliance Health, probably because of the mindset that I've actually had then about ownership, that's because then when I built something and maybe something went wrong, I'll feel bad, like, guy, you shouldn't have done this. And they like, sometimes I will even reach out to my manager that I'm very sorry. And they'll be like, you don't need to be sorry.
Normal.
You get. But then that was one of the things that was actually helping me then, that ownership, that accountability part. So when I left for another company, then I I'm still growing in that ownership part actually, but it wasn't the way I was.
Yeah.
So it was easy for even my manager to even delegate some tasks to me
To you.
go to bed.
Yeah.
Even though I was actually mid-level then. You get that? So it
Hmm.
was actually easy. But at that level, I think at that level, one of the things I was lacking then was the leadership parts. That was one of the things I was lacking then. So quite funny enough, my manager, even though I was just mid-level then, my manager then assigned like, I think like one or two interns to me
To you.
just to, be mentoring them and all those things. And I felt maybe I could have mentored them better, but that was because I was mid-level. Had it been I was senior engineer then, maybe I could have done better then. I did my best based on that level, but
Yeah.
the mindset was not the same as senior. So I think I started my senior engineering journey in 2023. And that was because I was confident of what I did in my previous job prior to the new role, which was
New one.
where I was actually the senior worker. And that was because of the fact that the manager had to be focused on another thing and he was delegating a number of things to me. Things that are even critical, production, bugs, fixing it, and even like database access. So I had access to even the database, the production data, and all those things. And there were things that he even assigned to me to do that, which is one of the part of embracing the challenge. He told me to, was it the one that told me? I think it was a joint discussion that we had. So he told me to actually decouple some things. So some things were actually tightly coupled there. And I think prior to that, I've not really had that experience of, loosely coupling things and all those things. So I asked him a couple of questions because I wasn't sure of the exact thing to do. And that's actually a differentiating factor between mid-level and a junior. Sometimes junior, okay, this is what I was told to do. You just run into implementing it
Try to get
without asking some questions.
Clarifying questions.
Get and even in asking the clarifying questions, that's when you'll be able to know some trade-offs. That do you think this thing will really work the way because to be honest, managers too are humans too as well. They will not always be right.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
there's a way you should communicate your idea to them in a way that should still be honorable. You get that? So when I started my senior engineering, I even started with being the lead, and that was a little bit chaotic for me at the beginning. Cause
Normal.
like what? At this point, it's not like I was coming from his previous senior backend engineering role to being the lead backend engineering role then. So I started with being the lead, and at the time that I joined, the the engineering team was actually under pressure of delivering something. And the fact that it was very chaotic.
Bad timing.
But trust me, those were the things that looking back now, those are the things that really helped me.
you.
To be honest, it made me to understand that I can still thrive in chaos, even though chaos, or let me say recurring chaos, is not something good. So those, and one of the things that I started noticing then is that I had the ability to work with very difficult people. Like I work with like maybe like one or two people that were somewhat difficult to work with, but and we're able to achieve what we were supposed to. Even at the end of achieving that thing, the head of QA and my because I was reporting directly to the CTO then,
Yeah.
he even actually gave me that credit that prior to when I joined, he was sort of concerned that how will I
Work
work
with this
with this
person.
kind of people. And I was able to work with them. So that was one of the things that made me to realize that okay, I think I can start thriving in the senior backend engineering space now. So it's a mindset and it's actually a progression.
Yeah.
You taking up challenges, you taking ownership of things, being accountable, being not being sorry when things go wrong, but you're accountable that in fact sometimes things might even go wrong not based on the task that you even worked on. Maybe another person actually worked on it, but
Yeah.
because you are the lead, you have to
You
still
have
be
to.
accountable
Yeah.
for the other
Exactly.
person.
Exactly.
So being accountable for so many things like that were things that actually made me to realize that okay, I think I'm no longer a junior, I'm not a mid-level. I think I'm no longer a midlevel.
Yeah, nice. Thank you for that. So I so I have a couple of questions, but I'm going to shorten those questions and
Okay.
I'll unpick. Okay, so let's talk about how has it been working as a senior engineer at Cora for because so the reason why I'm asking this is I also want people to know the reality,
Yeah.
right, of working at, because people are shouting, oh, because all these people that are saying someone that is, let's say that person is really a mid-level, for instance, now starts calling themselves senior.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys don't even know what senior engineers do. They don't know. So yeah, that's why I want you to like shed some light
First of all, you have to figure things out on your
on your own. Nobody's
to
helping
be
you.
honest, you have to. I don't know if I should go into details with some.
No, don't go into too much details.
Yeah.
So let's
But you
talk
have to
about
figure
yeah.
things out on your own, and it's because of the expectation.
Yeah.
So, for you to be a senior engineer, you are not that spoon feeding part is totally gone.
Not there.
Like totally not maybe partially there or not. You have to figure things out on your own. And one of the ways you have to figure things out on your own is to actually understand even the code base. Even though you were not the one that wrote it, you might not really understand even the business logic as at that time, but you have to really figure things out on your own. I think that's the first thing. Number two is you have to that influence is very key too as well.
Influence.
You cannot be why you might not be able to solve all problems, but when there are some problems, there is this expectation on you that you should rise up to actually solve it. Whether it's now involves some form of collaboration cross teams, maybe having a communication with maybe your engineering manager, your product manager, or even other teams. You have to figure ways how to actually solve a problem. Number three is that you also have to solve challenging tasks. When a task is actually being assigned to you, for instance, even the product manager that assigned the task to you might not know all there is
Everything,
to that task. So you have to own that task as though you were the one that conceived the idea. Such that even when the product manager is saying some things that okay, can we do this? You can actually, based on the ownership you've gotten concerning that task, let him know that okay, this thing, can't we do it this way? Because many product managers are not that technical. So they might not really know some things that happen at it. They might not really know some things that actually happen at it. So you are the one that will actually explain some things to him, both in the engineering part, but in a very simpler way. Because you can't be telling the person a lot of technical jargons. You might not really be able to understand. And that will lead me to the next thing. You must be able to work with many stakeholders, both technical and non-technical. And you must be able to communicate your ideas to many non-technical stakeholders in a non-technical
way.
Using much technical jargons, to be honest, because you can't be telling them that okay, there's one service called this, all those things they might not really understand. And it's not their fault. That's not what they are, proficient at. That's not the area of specialization. So you need to actually communicate it to them in a non-technical way and in a way that they will also understand. Another thing I would say is I think I've actually mentioned that leadership parts where you have to actually and you have to be proactive too as well.
Yes.
You have to be proactive.
You don't wait for things to get assigned to you.
Actually, you have to be proactive. You have to be very, very proactive too as well. And lastly, I think I've seen some senior engineers might sound counterintuitive, but I've seen some senior engineers being proud in that when you tell them that they are wrong, they feel bad.
Yes.
Honestly.
Yes.
So you have to be very teachable. You have to be
Teachable.
open-minded.
Yes.
Because to be honest, anybody can be wrong. You will not always be right.
Yeah.
Your ideas might not actually be what the company or what it's saying will always run with. So you have to understand that you have to be very open-minded. And I think you actually mentioned the part of being dumb too as well. See,
Yes.
sometimes ask dumb questions.
Ask dumb questions.
Honestly, sometimes just do so that you will not assume and then later realize that made that mistake with that. It will be very worse. Ask dumb questions. At least I do that a lot with my with my engineering manager and even my product manager. When I don't understand the reason for some business decisions, I actually ask why this? Why can't you do it like this? Or it might actually be dumb to me, but trust me, it might actually be a very fantastic question to them.
Yeah.
But if you do not ask that, and if it's if it's actually a fantastic question to them, they might actually tell you some things you might not have known. So I think it's more of a blend between the technical, or let me say the hard skills and the soft skills. Both of them are actually much more important at that level. You know, as a junior, you might not really be able to communicate some technical ideas to a non-technical person very well. But as senior, you must find ways to actually do that. You must be able to work with, you know, many people at different levels too as well. So I think those were the things I've seen working at Quora. Yeah, those are the things I've seen working at Quora, because I mean, Quora actually has that great culture.
Good culture, yeah.
The feedback system is very open.
Very good, yeah.
You can tell your manager that, okay, why can't we do things like this? And you will not be afraid of whatever the aftermath will be, because there's no aftermath.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's it. Yeah.
I think it's important that part of I used to say that it's better to be dumb initially at the beginning that should be done later. I'm telling you. So like
I get that.
Whenever I find myself on a new team or in a new environment, trust me, you might hate me for like the first 1 month. I'm going to be after everybody. I'm going to ask, oh, so why is this one like this? Why is it? Because I want to know. Right. It is not expected. I mean, so one other thing that I would add to what you said, like as an expectation from senior engineers, is that if you, number one, you can move a senior engineer anywhere, anytime, any day, from any team to any team. Like senior engineers are the easiest to move. Like you can move someone today from one team, from a non-payment team to a core payment team, and you're expected
the person should deliver.
Like you get
fat on time.
Yeah, on time. So that you don't really have that much time, because if they move you as a senior engineer and they move a junior engineer, and you people are spending the same amount of time getting up to speed with context and everything, right? So so it ties with that, like being teachable, being able to like pick up things, being able to pick up things fast, right? So I think that that makes a lot of things. I've been able to like what's it, mentor like other like junior engineers, and that pride part.
Honestly,
let's not get into story, but
that
that pride part. Being a senior engineer does not give you that like the way we talk about even when it comes to this to spiritual aspect of things, like the more intimate you become, or the higher you climb in the spirit, the more dependent you have to be, and the more humble. Like the more of God you are exposed to, the more humble you become. Right? And that's how it's supposed to be, even like with other aspects of our lives, like not excluding this career path too. So because as a senior engineer, you're exposed to a lot of things and you know a lot of things, and the more you know, the more you should realize that there's a lot more that you don't even know. Right? And that's what brings in that
I think that humility part. It has even happened to me even at Quora, that maybe some context that I actually did not have while I was working on something. So as a junior engineer that
I explained, can you imagine?
And I actually thank him. It might be like, you don't need to thank me, I'm just doing my job, but I mean, you help me. And I think that's the part of being humble.
Humble, yeah.
You don't know all. And people that you feel don't even know up to you
Up to you,
might even be
exactly.
the one that will help
That will
out.
explain to
But
you.
if you are not humble to be teachable, you are not humble to, accept that feedback, you definitely will not be able to get
It's going to affect you. Imagine you are joining a team and there's only one junior engineer there, and you are the senior engineer on the team.
I don't
You
want
not
to ask
because
questions.
the guy is junior. You know ask the guy.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's it.
Oh, okay. So I think I have like just two more questions.
Okay.
How do you? I'm picking these questions. There are some other questions I want to ask for. I'm picking some of these things. So, uh, how do you view work-life balance? You're a married man,
Okay.
right? How has it been? Like, okay, let's try to like briefly talk about life when you're not married, like as a tech bro, right? When you're not married, and now that you're married, I mean, you've been married for some time. Like now that you're married, what are the changes?
Well, then I can go out anytime and come back anytime. But now, yeah. So, anyways, when I wasn't married, well, I think when I wasn't married, that was when my career got intensified. Let me use that word. So work-life balance there was really not there. Like, what am I balancing? I have not really grown the way I wanted to. So I knew that I have to give in the necessary.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll even sleep at the office.
Yeah.
I've spent like a week in the office before.
Kai.
So I was just taking my bath in the restroom. Although they actually have a bedroom.
Yeah.
So but now I can't never.
You can't do that.
No,
Dare not.
I can't do that.
But where?
I can't do that now. So there was really no work-life balance there because I really wanted to grow. And I think first thing is that when it comes to growth comes with a level of inconvenience and sacrifices.
Yeah.
Trust me, sacrifice and growth they can't be in the same definition or statements.
Yeah.
So, but now, not that I've grown like that, not that I've arrived,
at
I'm
least-
still growing.
Yeah.
But I have to understand the fact that I'm not the only one staying in this house.
Yeah.
I have a wife that needs my attention, that
Yeah.
needs my time. But I think first of all, it boils down
I'm
to
married.
first of all, I think it boils down to having an understanding spouse and a spouse that is also busy with her life to
Yeah.
not that she's just sitting
I'm waiting for you.
you get when your wife is also busy with her life, she's growing too as well, and she's understanding, and she actually knows what your heart desire is, what your goals are. Definitely she will actually support you.
You support him.
And also vice versa too as well, even as the man too as well. So I have to ensure that I strike that balance, that I don't always work till maybe midnight and all those things, because sometimes even after finishing what I needed to do at work that day, I may have some courses that I need to take.
Yeah.
But I have to also understand that I can't always be busy with laptop every now and then, because it's not like my wife is never my roommate. So it's not like my roommate that I might choose not to talk to at times. Maybe we are fighting, all those things, those kind of things when you were in school, that you had roommates that maybe offended you and all those things.
Yeah.
So I have to understand that first of all, this person is a woman. She's more emotional.
Yeah.
They are more attaching. I don't know if I should use that word. They actually need their attention more.
More, yeah.
You get, so you have to also ensure that you create. I think it's a level. It depends on being committed and being intentional. It's intentionality. It's something that can actually be balanced.
Yeah.
Because now that I don't have kids, when kids comes, I have to also dedicate my time for them too as well. And I must also ensure that my wife is not also lacking in my time too as well. So that balance must
be there.
actually be there. Yeah. So
So I have thank you for that. I have two last questions. Daniel,
you said to the last time.
yes, you brought another one. So I need to ask. I need to ask this.
Daniel, that's the last question might be 2 3 times.
Don't mind me. So still on the topic of like work-life balance. How do you ensure that because and this was something I used to struggle with at some point. I really struggled with, like,
Okay.
The way the text space is structured. I think there's a video I have about it, about like I think the title of the video is does tech take you away from God? I have one video like that.
Okay.
And it was like a trend I just noticed, that the way the tech space is, because the tech space now, your growth is dependent, it's not really even dependent on the work you do at work. It depending on the extra work you do outside of work. So there's that tendency
What you do
to
5 to 9.
exactly. So you do 5, the many 9 to 5
Yeah.
is you trying to grow.
Okay.
So there's that tendency that you try to give all of your time
Okay.
to that work, and
Yeah.
things suffer, right? And part of the very important things that suffer is our relationship with God. So it's and that's why you see, like, you see someone that, say, like, that person was actually very vibrant at the time, and I've seen a lot of examples, trust me. At the time they started out, like, in the tech space, like, they're very fine and everything, but you see that this person now, let's say this is a senior engineer now, and all of a sudden God is not even in the equation. Right? It's as if they sacrificed that relationship with God for this. So in your case, how do you ensure that, okay, like, you don't fall into that trap?
To be honest, it's not easy.
This is not
challenge.
Yes, this is not,
Because tech takes time. Your relationship with God too as well
it takes time. Yeah.
So it's not actually easy. There are times that, to be honest, I've been inconsistent, to be honest.
Yeah.
But one of the things that have helped me is that I think one of the things that have helped me is listening to the voice of the Holy Spirit. There are times that if I realize that, bro, you've not really studied your Bible or even pray for, I'm not even talking about 1 month now, like maybe like 2 days, 3 days, I will not feel okay. I knew that no, something is wrong.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
So it's best to actually listen to the voice of the Holy Spirit at that point than trying to now postpone
it.
Yes,
That I'll do it later.
promising. I will do it later. Might be weeks.
Yes.
And just as relationship with human beings are actually built with time, people that you spend time with, you tend to know them more than people you don't spend time
with. Yeah.
And so that's one of the things that have actually helped me. That's listening to the voice of the Holy Spirit. When I realized I'm really spending much more time on maybe my growth learning projects and all those things. That's the first thing. Number two, to be very honest, one of the things that is also helping me now is actually my wife. Thank God I married a
woman of God,
not a religious man, but somebody that actually knows God, that understands the importance of secret place. Okay, let me share an experience. So when we first got married, did I say first got married? When we got married,
first few months,
yeah. So we had this challenge then as regards. Okay, I think I was working like 2 jobs then. So bro, it was
a lot,
and both of them were even Nigerian jobs. So one was full time, the other was like contract. So it wasn't full time, but it was also time taking too as well. So we initially had this issue even as regards quiet time. Morning devotion. Sometimes I'll wake up maybe I walk into the I wake up maybe like 8, 9, and I have to resume work. So we had to now postpone devotion to it's so she actually had to talk to me, and thank God she did. Thank God she wasn't like, okay, maybe things will get better.
It will get better.
You get it will not. So that part of actually marrying a good spouse to actually helps. And another thing that I've realized up to as well, even though I'm still trying my best to be very consistent with it, is having should I use the word, a regimented life.
Like there's a routine.
There are times you set aside to do some things. Sometimes as human beings, to be honest, you might not always be able to follow it. But when you know that you actually at this time you are supposed to be praying, maybe like 4 a.m. you are supposed to wake up, not to open laptop, but to pray, to study your Bible and all those things. So the days that you actually have a little setback, it will be easier for you to get back on track because you already have a routine. I don't know if you get that. So those were it. And also service in the house of God really helps, to be honest. When you have people of like minds, people that are also passionate about God, so as well, there's a way it actually motivates you to know more of God. So that part of listening to the voice of the Holy Spirit, having a supporting spouse, routine, and even service in the house of God, so it really helps. So I think that's what has really been helping me. That's what has really been helping me. And lastly, understanding that you have a purpose in Christ. I that part is something that I feel it's what many people are actually trying to emphasize it in the body of Christ, but maybe it has been misconstrued. Maybe people don't really see the need for it so as well. That I mean, once I'm making money, I'm
living a good life.
I'm living there. If only my purpose in Christ. So having an understanding of what your purpose in Christ early in life. For me, I got that understanding my 400 level. So that was what really helped me, even in my work with God, service in the house of God. It helps me to know where I'm supposed to serve, not just random places. So those were the things that really helped too as well.
That's I mean that's very very nice, awesome stuff, like especially like the part of having a very good and supportive spouse. I like to say that when you, how do I put it, I don't know who I was speaking to. At times when we are trying to, when we are deviating, God is so merciful that God uses the voices around us to try to bring us back. If you see someone that has completely fallen, right, it's because that person, trust me, God has tried. God has spoken to everybody.
Exactly.
That can speak to that person.
Oloko was stubborn.
And that's why it's important that you are someone that, you are someone that is under authority. Right. You're someone that there are people that you are accountable to. So that like in days like this, right? God forbid, let's say even those times, let's say, oh, you didn't even listen to your wife. Right, I'm sure there are people that God will speak to, say, this boy say, oh, didn't she buy, and
she even have the contact of my
exactly, she will call them.
Sir, so this guy is not
exactly.
I don't understand what this guy is doing.
Exactly.
So that part of authority too, I actually forgot. It's very
it's very important.
And I think I've seen a number of Christians trivialize that part. Honestly, I've seen a lot of Christians realize that they don't see the need for it. And to be honest, that's the part I was talking about before. It takes humility. It takes authority. It takes humility, because there are times that you say things that you will not be happy with.
Exactly.
But it's for your own good.
It's good.
It's for your own good.
Yeah, so it's for your own good. I that's very nice. Like just putting that system. Lastly, lastly, what would you say, or I wanted to give an advice to someone that is listening to this, and the person is either like just starting their career in the tech space, and the person is looking to like get to like achieve some level of success, right? Just give like a few advice for like those categories of people.
I'm not a motivational speaker.
I mean, from your experience, like,
okay. To be honest, the first thing I would say is that you should put God first. To be honest, everything rises and falls on that. Fine, it's possible for you to achieve success in any space without God. It's very possible. But if you are really someone that is a true believer, you have to know that God is your source and your sustainer.
Yes.
So that's the first thing I would say. The second thing I would say is that it's still somewhat related to the first part. You have to take on the nature of God, as in that our God is a creator, and everything he did after he created everything, he said was very good. So as well as somebody that is coming into tech space, you have to ensure that everything that you do, there's a touch of excellence to it, because that's really what will make people to recommend you without feeling scared that will this guy not really put me to shame here. So you have to ensure that everything that you do is done with a touch of excellence. And this thing is not something that is spontaneous, it's gradual. There are mistakes you've made in time past. You have to actually get over it and grow past that. I will also say that you have to keep on learning.
Stop learning.
There's this saying that continuous education is the minimum requirement for success. So you have to keep on learning. You are in a space that things that are invoked today can become obsolete in the
Obsolete tomorrow.
next 3
Sharp,
years.
sharp.
So I actually read I think there was a story that I read when I think like recently. So it's about an animal called koala. I was just hearing about it. So there is a kind of leaf that they eat, and they don't eat any other kind of. That's the only leaf that they. And most of other animals don't eat that kind of leaf. But there was a time that the forest was actually short of that leaf, so they were unable to survive. Why? Because they've been fixated on that.
On just one.
Unlike rats,
Rats
can
any-
eat anything.
anything.
Can eat anything. So as somebody coming into tech space, you must actually be flexible.
Flexible.
You must not be rigid and fixated on, depending on the career.
Space,
Maybe
yeah.
as a software engineer, maybe as a QA, maybe as a product designer, and all those things. You must be flexible. You must keep on learning. Another thing I would say is, please get a mentor. It really helps. Honestly, it really helps, especially at the early stage of that
Early
career,
stage.
where you don't know your left from your right, when you might be stuck in doing some things and you don't know how to get out of it.
Yeah.
Mentor will actually help you. The person will actually guide you. The person will unblock you. So that mentorship is very important.
Important.
And the last thing I will say is, this field is a relationship based field, to be honest. Maybe I should just say this. My interviewer actually was the one that recommended me for where we work together now. Now, if we've not had that relationship then,
Yeah.
and if he wasn't sure that I will not put him
yeah.
to shame, he would most likely have not recommended him.
Ah.
So that relationship is very important. Relationship with your manager, relationship with your co-teammate, relationship with people that you are even should I say more knowledgeable than. Because those people you are more knowledgeable than today might be more knowledgeable than you
tomorrow.
To be honest. And they might even be in the best position to actually help you. But if you have not actually cultivated that relationship, it will be very difficult for you to even open your mouth and even request for help. There are people I can slide into their DM anytime. Why? Because I've built that relationship.
Yes,
So that relationship is very, very important. Because to me, I think 80% of the jobs and projects I've worked on came by referrals. Like 80%. I later had to apply for some of them. I later had to went through the normal interview process, but it was because of referral that actually made me to be shortlisted for interview. Quite funny enough, I would have even applied earlier, and maybe I would have been ghosted. Because of that referral, that recommendation. So that relationship is very, very important. I think that's all. Put God first.
Yes.
Let him be the first and the last in your life. Honestly, it really helps. It helps. Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's
I think I don't think I have any other thing to say to that, right? Because he has all the things he mentioned are very, very important things. Things that if you're starting out and you are putting these things, even people that have been in tech for some time, they are still putting these principles to work. So yeah. So yes, please make sure to listen to all those advice. One last thing. Is there a question? Can people reach out to you for mentorship? Because you see that by yourself, you said that find a mentor, right? So can they reach out to you for mentorship? If your answer is yes, we are going to put your LinkedIn, the link to your LinkedIn, your what else we put? The phone number? No, that's not the phone number. Email address, so that they can reach out. But can people reach out?
I'm actually open to.
Yes. So I try as much as possible to ask people this question so that the audience will have like a lot of people they can actually reach out to for help whenever they are stuck. Thank you so much, Ayodele, for finding out time. Yeah, thank you so much for finding time to share a little, because there's still a lot I want to ask, and we are going to find time for that. Yes. Especially that relationship part, like community relationship, how like leveraging these things. I think we are going to dedicate a particular episode on it. To it, right? We just talk about relationships, right, in the workplace and
Yeah.
in life general. So thank you so much once again, Ayodele. It's been an awesome one, and I'm sure like everyone that's listening has been blessed. Right, that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
That people listen to this podcast and they are blessed. They are able to pick out principles, pick out tips, things that they can apply to their own lives, right? And I'm sure that someone has listened to this thing and the Holy Spirit is telling you, see this thing now. This is your table. This is your table that are shaking. So if you're that person, make sure you listen. Like I already said, listen to the voice of the Spirit.
Yeah.
Listen. Let's not fight. We are going to fight. Listen, we are going to know if you don't listen. That's just what I'm trying to tell you. We are going to know. So thank you so much, Ayodele.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
And thank you for this privilege and this honor.
Thank you.
To be honest, I'm very, very grateful for this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you for listening, guys. We'll see in the next one. Until then. Well, that'll be all for today's episode. I hope this conversation resonates with you. I hope it challenged you, and I hope it has given you something valuable to think about as you navigate your journey. Now, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to click the like button, and also make sure to share with 2 or 3 people that you think would benefit from this content. The reason why we are doing this is to bless lives. The reason why we do this is to shift the mindset of people. This wouldn't be possible if we don't get this content out there. And also, if you have not subscribed, why? Answer me, why? I'm just kidding. I invite you to subscribe to the channel or on whatever platform you might be listening on. Make sure to subscribe so that this is one of the things you can do to encourage us to keep making good and quality content like this. And also, I invite you to drop your thoughts in the comment section. Your perspective really matters to me, and I am always excited to learn and to hear from you guys. Until the next time, keep building not just a great career, but a great life. I remain Ibiniyi Obikoya, also known as Hybeecodes. Peace.